One of my followers on Instagram sent me this audio. It's actually a video clip, but I can't put it up here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio, and I want you to hear the blatant hypocrisy that comes out of the mouths of each of these individuals, and then I'm going to explain to you what was being said.
President is expanding the effort to protect federal property in Portland. Portland now sending 100 more agents. Operation Legend is a beginning. It's greatly needed in all of these cities. I am having a hard time understanding why the government would create a confrontation like this. The government has gone way overboard here, and I think they need to pull back fast.
The city of Portland has been under siege. Federal DHS and DOJ officers and agents have been deployed to keep the mobs in check. As we watch that estimated 200 federal agents and local law enforcement surround the ranch, the word of this evening is tyranny, as in the arbitrary, unrestrained exercise of power.
When somebody looks at lawlessness and says it's a local problem, you can do that to dismiss all bad behaviors. Even though there's some lawlessness involved here, the inclination is to be for the individual, even if the individual may have broken some laws.
Federal authorities entering cities across the country right now in an effort to preserve some degree of sanity. I think the sentiment is we are the federal government. We're entitled to do whatever we want. The government feels entitled to massive overreach over states' rights.
When the DHS deployed federal law enforcement officials to protect the city's federal buildings, they were accused of, quote, acting like an occupying army. The federal government needs to pull back. They need to think about what is the end game here. Are they willing to tase people, fight people? I saw one picture of a bloodied up woman, an elderly woman that was thrown to the ground.
For more than a month, mobs of violent, crazy people have roamed this country, terrorizing citizens. It's the armed agents who are scarier. And so how could you look at this and say, Cliven Bundy's the one who threatens America?
200 agents, snipers surrounding a ranch. Seems a little over the top to me.
It's over the top. It's very strong.
Okay, so in case y'all didn't understand what you're hearing, if I can retrieve the link, I'll post it down in the comments and you can actually watch it for yourself. What you just heard was two clips from various people. One clip was showing people talk about in 2020 them sending federal agents into Portland. The other part of the clip from those same people you heard was from 2014 at that building that was one state up in Washington with the Cliven Bundy family. You know, when they took over that government building. Basically, their hypocrisy got exposed. This is the 6-year difference. Where in one clip, they're talking about how they're glad the government is sending federal agents to deal with the people in Portland. But in the 2014 clip, they're saying how the government is so wrong to infringe on the Bundy family's rights to exercise. Now, the people you heard from was Tucker Carlson, Sean Clancy, and some other right-wing supremacists. And then at the end, you heard them talking to 45 and basically saying how he felt it was wrong, or was it right? I can't remember exactly on what it was, if it was about the Cliven Bundy family or what have you. At the time, he wasn't running. But the blatant hypocrisy got exposed right there. See, that's why the internet is undefeated and they can retrieve stuff like this. And I think this thing it came from The Daily Show, so that's Trevor Noah's platform right there. So they put those clips together. I wish I could have inserted the clips so you could actually see for yourself, but y'all get what I'm saying. They basically, you know, had one set of words 6 years ago and then another set this year, but they echo almost the same thing, but in completely opposite directions. They basically defended racism, a well-known racist family, and then, of course, was opposed to what was going on in Portland, even though they weren't even taking over anything, but were for federal agents being sit down, even though those federal agents really aren't agents. More like agents of chaos. They just gave them a uniform and said, look, you go here, go here, go here. If you see anybody that looks suspicious, just mess with them. That shows you right there that people like Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson and all those other people that was speaking are all for chaos, when it benefits them for their own entertainment. But when it came to Cliven Bundy and his family and the Bundy Ranch and all of that shit that happened 6 years ago, they were so opposed to the government. They were practically anti-government, just like the Bundy family was, for holding up that government building for a month. I remember when that happened. That happened like in January. It was like, are they going to move any of them out? They just letting them nest there for a month until they finally went in at the end of January and started popping off on them. I think 1 or 2 of them had died from that. Or the shootout happened. But they were all for that. See, they are for tyranny when it benefits them. But when it doesn't, then that's when they're for quote unquote law and order. That's why I can't take any of these idiots and these fools seriously whatsoever. But like I said, the internet is undefeated. So you can always dig up receipts.